Here is a Duracraft Pivot Breeze air circulator. This is model DT-751 in white. And I believe this is new in the box. It originally sold at Lynn's and Things for $9.99. The comparable price is free. I highly doubt that 07 is 2007. I think this is much older than that. I suspect this is probably a product of the late 90s. This is a good find. I really like this eccentric Duracraft stuff from the 90s and early 2000s. The blade is a rather uncommon shape. It appears to be the same shape as on that very small dual Duracraft window fan that I have with the temperature control. Pivoting head directs a powerful breeze. Powerful 2-speed motor is a singular whisper quiet. Head tilts upward to be a room air circulator. And it came with a 3-year limited warranty, which is pretty impressive for a basic, probably cheaper van like this. And cheaper in terms of cost. I don't think that this was a cheap product in terms of quality. 2 speeds, carrying handle. This does not talk about the singular whispering quiet anymore. 1998. Made in China. Let's take a look and see what we got here. Here's the instruction manual. Pivot Breeze. Wonder how many other colors these came in. The fan base also doubles as a convenient carrying handle. What? How does the fan base double as a convenient carrying handle? Seriously, that's what they're calling the carrying handle? That's outrageous. I'd rather just grab it like that. The cord is really cool. It's is it semi-translucent? It's hard to tell. It's a very interesting color. And the wire seems to match the color of the blades, which is like a silver. And I think it might actually be the same motor, or I don't know about the motor, but the same blade as that window fan, because the blade itself is quite small. I'd say the blade is only about 6 inches, where the box is 11. The fan itself is almost 10, a little over 10. I think they could have put a slightly larger blade in here, but nothing as bad as that that Holmes box fan with a tiny little blade. So it just got the basic shaded pole C-frame motor in there. Duracraft logo, which is barely visible. The plastic is really strong. If this was used, it was not used very much. I don't think it was stored in a attic or a basement. Doesn't seem to be yellowed or brittled at all. They're actually in really good condition, both the fan and the box. The UL tag is 08 of 1998, so it probably sold in the summer of 1999. Got one of those stupid clicking tilt adjustment things. This was probably the answer to the Honeywell turbo fan. I think it's HT904. Same kind of concept, very similar design. No, let's plug this thing up and see how it works. Do we have informations on here? I bet there's somewhere in illegible font. Yep, I see it. Well, I see where the information is. I don't see what it says. It says Honeywell Incorporated. That's ironic. Made in China. 0.5 amps. Oh, the switch has a terrible feel to it. It's like the knob is pushed on too hard and it's getting caught against the plastic around it. Cord is very flexible and light. It's a nice wire. We have 116.7 the volts, 0.5, 116.5, 0.7. I don't know why this thing can't make up its mind. Okay, let's begin on the low. Seems to be busted. I wonder if it's just, I hope it's just like stiff bearings. Yeah, they do seem pretty stiff. Well, that was unexpected. Let's see if we can just throw a couple drops of oil in there to get it to run. And before we use it for any extended period of time, we'll have to go through and do a full proper service of the bearings. I'll add oil into the wicks and everything. Jeez, I used some long screws in this thing. It's a good thing I got this, because most likely whoever else got this would have just thrown it out. It's stiff, but it's not like crazy. There's something doesn't seem right about this. Oh no. This is one of those dreaded motors that's going to disintegrate on me if I try to open it up. Not good. It's already full of cracks. I bet it might be out of alignment as opposed to dry, and I can't align it. I think what's happened is the motor bearings are not being held in place properly because of how disintegrated the frame there is. That bites. I wonder what we could replace this motor with. We're gonna have to get a new motor for this because this is not gonna last. I'm almost 100% certain this is gonna break if I try to service it. And it's already, I think what's happening is it's like bowed forward, and the rotor is now like rubbing up against part of the front bearing holder here. That really bites. I could probably, if I could get this off, I could probably add a couple additional thrust washers and fix this. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to get it off. I have a feeling, well, what I might be able to do is I might be able to undo it from the back, and if I can get the blade off without breaking the bearing, I can try to slide the shaft out. The wires are all like screwed up on there. Something weird is going on with this motor. That doesn't look great at all. Well, the clothes are dry. This is going to be a very tricky servicing. And it is not a 9 o'clock at night project by any means. So I'm going to put this back together. I want to see if we can get some video of this running with the original motor, just so we know how it would have originally operated. And then I will see what I can do at a later date in terms of trying to repair this. I hope I can get it, but if I can't, then we'll have to just replace the motor. As long as the shaft size is fairly standard, I can probably just replace it with like one of those Honeywell turbofan motors or something. Should be able to find a replacement. But it just might not have the original speeds, which is why I want to see if we can at least get a video of it in operation before the motor breaks, or before I break it trying to fix it. Come on, what the heck? What is good with this screw? It's like it's not grabbing onto anything. Stupid. Alright, so it should start as long as I hold it forward just a little bit. Wow, this works so much better without the guard on. It's actually pretty poor performance with the guard on. It's kind of loud and it's just not moving a whole lot of air. Certainly no way that this would be an air circulator in the room by tilting it up. No shot. It's okay, but it's not great. 0.28 the amps, 19 the watts, with 0.57 the power factor, which is also pretty poor. I can feel it 4 feet away, but for the noise, it's just not that much airflow. Now granted, some of the noise might be coming from the motor's malfunctioning issue. It's hard to tell how much of it's actually the air and how much of it's the motor. Okay, now I don't hear the motor anymore. can hear the aerodynamics aren't right either. You can hear it's like the air is kicking around in there. Oh gosh, this motor's going to break any second now. That's 0.51 amps, so right on target. 30 the watts, 0.49 the power factor. I hate to say it, but this is a terrible product. I'm about 5 feet back from it, and I can still feel a breeze, but it's not much. Very minimal. That's extremely disappointing. I mean, this can barely pass off as like a personal fan. There's no way this is an air circulator with a whispering breeze. It's more like a shouting breeze. Pivoting head directs a powerful breeze. That's cap. Powerful 2-speed motor is a whisper quiet. That's cap. The head tilts upward to be a room air circulator. Well, the head does tilt upward, but there's no way it's going to function as a room air circulator. I think this is probably the worst Duracraft product I've ever used. It's extremely disappointing, especially considering how many of the other Duracraft models were really quite powerful. No, this is terrible. Geez, now I don't feel so bad if the motor is going to break during servicing, because quite frankly this is not much anything more than a display piece. I really can't see myself ever listening to this while sweating and hot. Well, it stinks that the motor's busted, but the fan itself also stinks, so I guess it doesn't make too much of a difference. It's still a cool find and it's absolutely going on the display shelf, but it's an aerodynamics disaster, and the performance is not up to typical Duracraft levels. And I just noticed that the Duracraft logo is printed on there in the same color as the blades, whereas it's invisible on here.